Hello everyone, I'm Hone, and it's Monday, so I'm bringing you guys my usual draft video, and we're drafting some more Amonkhet, and we'll go ahead and jump in the queue. Okay, well this is a pretty good pack. I love Edifice of Authority. I think people are still underrating it. Keep in mind I'm recording this, I don't know, several weeks before it'll go up, but I've seen it go pretty late, and I've first picked it and been happy with it. But I think we probably take Insult to Injury. It's super powerful as a removal spell. Usually you just want to pay 6, do 4 to a creature, 4 to your opponent, and double the damage of all your creatures. And that is excellent. The only other card in here close to it in power level is Edifice of Authority. Quarry Hauler is, of course, a fine common. In some weak packs, it's the first pick. Binding Mummy is pretty good in the zombie deck. Better than I expected, even. Alien Wind Guide's obviously a good gold card, but we'll take Insult to Injury all day here. I'm going to put it in the 6 mana slot because that's basically what it is. It's not always, but most of the time that's what you want to be doing with it, I think. Wow. We got another one of these rare split cards, and this one's pretty good too. We could go blue-red spells, I guess, if we take that. In terms of red cards in this pack, none of them are that great. Sheffit Monitor is pretty good if we want to be splashing, but I think I'd probably just want Commit to Memory. Commit's pretty solid. The memory half isn't that exciting, but it's fine. Like, if you're behind in cards in the late game, your opponent has like 4 in their hand and you have 0, it's not a bad thing to cast memory. The Sheffit Monitor is worth looking at, but it's kind of funny to start with 2 rare split cards. And I haven't gotten to draft a blue-red spells deck just yet, so I don't mind seeing if it can happen for us here. Okay, there's a dual land. True Heart Twins are solid. Quarry Hauler is probably better, though. Hieroglyphic Illumination's fine. This pack is also not super exciting. I mean, it's kind of like our first pack. Some of the cards are the same. I mean, I'm not sold on playing either of these colors exactly. You can actually splash this if you want to, although it's not nearly as good because you kind of need double red to get the most value, but I could take Quarry Hauler here, or True Heart Twins. Hieroglyphic Illumination's fine, but it's not that exciting. I guess if I take True Heart Twins, I'm at least cutting red. I mean, I'm cutting blue if I take this, so that's also worth thinking about. But if I'm getting Quarry Hauler this late, I think I'm going to take the Quarry Hauler and see what happens here. Wow. Do we just want a whole deck of these? No, I'm kidding at this point. This one's fine, but it's not like powerful like the 2 we already have. Okay. Renewed Faith and Gustwalker are both solid. Watchful Naga's okay. Don't love it. Could just take an Essence Scatter, which I think is actually pretty playable in this format. I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, we'll take Essence Scatter. That was not an exciting pack either. So, if it can happen for us, I'd like to go blue-red. Get some Cryptic Serpents and some, did I mix that up? Is it Cryptic Drake and something else? Serpent? I don't know, but those cards. Okay, Faith of the Devoted. No, thank you. Yeah, our colors don't seem open enough at all. We do have the 1 green card. That's good. We could just take Evolving Wilds, though, and I think that's what I'll take here. These green cards are all fine, but Evolving Wilds is probably going to do more for me than any of them will. So, Evolving Wilds it is. So, we're sort of don't know where we are. The first 5 picks have been sort of back and forth. Okay, we could take another Essence Scatter, which I don't hate, but I also don't love, especially since we're not picking up like any of the big spell payoffs, at least not yet. So I may just take an Ornery Kudu, who's perfectly fine green card. The red cards here, again, aren't very exciting. Kudu is solid, though. Yeah, so I'll take the Kudu. Okay, well, this pack doesn't really offer us a ton. I may just take Tormenting Voice on the off chance the spell deck pans out, because it's pretty good in that deck. But Benefaction of Ronus isn't that good. Pitiless Vizier is fine if you get into the cycling deck, which I guess we could consider. Festering Mummies, unexciting. Compelling Arguments, not very good. Brute Strength is a fine trick. But yeah, none of this draft is not going well so far, is how I would put it. I guess Pitiless Vizier is like the strongest card in this pack, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and take over Tormenting Voice. Okay, that's a pretty late Impeccable Timing, and it's not a card I love, but it is a reasonable card. So is Pouncing Cheetah, and it's in a color we actually have some cards in, so I guess I'll go with that. But yeah, it's not looking hopeful for red at all. Blue's looking good, though. I'll tell you that. Are we going to be blue-green again? I don't know. But Cartouche of Knowledge is good. Talkrop Skirmisher is good. I think I'm going to take the Cartouche here. Yeah, we're going to Cartouche it. Okay. See, these are all mediocre red cards that we saw a while ago. So it's none of this is a great indication that red's open. I mean, some of them are at least reasonably playable, but, you know, we'll take Pursue Glory here. Okay, Stinging Shot. I've regularly mainboard those, and I haven't been disappointed by it yet, so that's what I'm going to go with. Do I want a Kopesh or a Scribe of the Mindful more? That's a good question. Right, I could splash Insult to Injury right now. It's not the worst plan, so I may. But, yeah, I guess I'll take a Kopesh here. And I'll take a Giant Spider. So green and blue both seem reasonably open. Hyena Pack, again, it's a playable card, but not an indicator of anything about red. So the downside about splashing this in red is I would just have to play the first half one turn and maybe get in for a little bit of extra damage. And then in the next turn, I could cast Injury, which is a great card just on its own. But when this card's the best is when you cast them both on the same turn. So we'll see if we want to splash it or not. Still no gods. Wouldn't mind an Angler Drake or two for this deck. Okay. Canyon Sloth. There's a Spring to Mind, which if we end up as a real ramp deck is actually pretty good. There's another Cartouche of Knowledge. I'd probably just take Spring to Mind, though. It's probably the best card in this pack for us. I wouldn't mind Colossopede coming back. But, you know, ramping and fixing is great, and it has some extra value out of the graveyard. I wouldn't mind Stinging Shot, Watchful Naga, Colossopede, or Cartouche of Knowledge, or Winds of Rebuke coming back. I would be okay with all of those things, but we'll take Spring to Mind here. Oh, Bantu the Glorified, you say. I can splash him. He may be the worst of the gods in Limited, but he still is super good. And I think he's probably just what we take. There is a Final Reward we could splash. There's also a Magma Spray, which is nice since we're in red at this point. But I think I got to take Bantu. I do need to get more creatures in my deck for him to be worth splashing, but we're taking him. So gods, I can update gods finally. It's my first god I've actually drafted. Does it count if I don't play it? I don't know. I might take it away, but we can finally say one god. We're now monotheistic. Okay, so, ooh, man, the blue-red deck, it's calling to me. It's also a card we could splash that would be pretty good in our deck at this point. Warfire Javelineer. And the stuff we have in this pack in the other colors we're in, like blue, isn't great. There's, you know, Open into Wonder and Heckma Sentinels, which are fine. And maybe I just want Open into Wonder. But Warfire Javelineer is just so good. So I'm kind of going off the rails here, but I think I'm taking Warfire Javelineer, and we'll see what happens. Okay, Neheb the Worthy. Another Ornery Kudu. These packs seem like incredibly weak to me. I think I take Winds of Rebuke here over like a Manticore. Yeah. Another Pouncing Cheetah or a Watchful Naga. Probably not going to end up playing the Warfire Javelineer, although I could splash him as well, I guess. I guess I'll take the Naga here. Okay, there we go. Greater Sandworm is the kind of thing we want to try to be ramping into. We've got a little bit of ramp already. I'd like to get more. Wouldn't mind Illusory Wrappings or Quarry Hauler, but Greater Sandworm is pretty great. Defiant Great Maw, pretty solid too, but I like the Sandworm more, especially when you're blue-green. But yeah, we probably won't be able to play Bantu unless we get to like 15-ish creatures. At which point we can play them. And, you know, with Warfire Javelineer, we probably need at least like 7 instant and sorcery spells. So, we'll see if we get there. Okay, well, see, this is what I mean by Edifice of Authority being underrated still. It's a really good card, and it's still here late. Manglehorn, Giant Spider, no thank you. I'll just take this Edifice of Authority. Yeah, this pack is not very good. I guess Thresher Lizard's like the best card in it. Yeah, I mean, maybe I play Cradle of the Accursed, but I probably don't. I'm just going to take a Thresher Lizard. Another Winds of Rebuke, or another Watchful Naga, or another Stinging Shot. Those are all reasonable options. I'm thinking maybe another Naga. Yeah, let's go with the Naga. Okay, River Serpent, I like. It's something I can ramp into, and it also has cycling. In an ideal world, I won't be playing the Khopesh, I don't think. It's fine, but... yeah, we need some 1 and 2, with some 2-drops for sure. Because right now, I mean, we do have Essence Scatter, which you can sort of think of as one. Because it'll probably counter a creature spell on turn 2 or 3 if you get it in your opening hand. Okay, so what do I want? Open into Wonder or Heckma Sentinels? I'm leaning towards Open into Wonder. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but if there's any deck that wants it, it's definitely the blue-green deck, and we have some big creatures who wouldn't mind being made unblockable and stuff. So right now, we still don't really have a ton of ramp, it's worth noting, but that's okay. We just have Spring to Mind, and that's it. We'll take a foil full art land. So I wouldn't mind picking up some ramp here in this pack, some Naga Vitalist, the blue-green gold card. All things I would be interested in having. Nissa, you know, take it. Pull from Tomorrow. That card is pretty good. May also be worth something, but it's a good card in a control deck. I'm not sure that's what we are because we don't have a ton of removal at this point. But it is a good card. We're not really a control deck. I don't know if we'll have time to cast it. But I am going to check how much it's worth. I know There's a lot of buzz around the card in general. Sphinx's Revelation E type card. Yeah, it's worth 3 tickets, so I think I probably end up taking it here based on that. And it's playable. It's just not going to be great in our deck. Watchful Naga, Bitterblade Warrior, Hooded Brawler, Ornery Kudu, and Cartouche of Knowledge are all fine. Deem Worthy is probably the best card in this pack. Ooh, Vizier of Many Faces is good. There's a Sandworm too, but I think the Vizier is just better. Yeah, we'll take it. Skirmishers, something I wouldn't mind wheeling, but we're going to take the Vizier here. Probably not worth splashing Warfowl Javelineer. Hello. There's some ramp. And it's just like an engine, a great engine card in general. So I'm going to take it. We really do need to stop passing 2-drops, but, and we will one of these days, but I think we take the Bounty of the Luxa. There's a Cryptic Serpent. Here's a Cartouche of Strength. Cryptic Serpent, I don't really think I'm going to be set up to play you very easily. So I think I'd rather just have a Cartouche of Strength here. I may be hurting so bad for 1s and 2s because I'm not taking them that I may have to run like Slitherblade, which I don't like. I don't like that card at all. Oh my god. Okay, I'll take another Bounty of the Luxa if you want to give it to me. We're definitely the kind of deck that's going to get run over early if we the way it looks right now, but our late game's looking pretty nice. Probably not going to be worth splashing Bantu either, sadly. We're not creature heavy enough. But 2 Bounties of the Luxa is pretty awesome. I've enjoyed that card when I've had it. We have no creatures that cost less than 3 mana right now, though. We do have cycling we can do, at least, in the early going. But still. That's not so good. But this does give us some ramp to get up to River Serpent and Greater Sandworm a little more cheaply. Let's just take all the top crop skirmishers we see. Oh, there's a Gale Strike, another Spring to Mind. Do I want 2 Spring to Minds or do I want another Gale Strike? I think I'd rather have Gale Strike. Yeah. Quarry Hauler and another Gale Strike. We really hurting for 2-drops, but I'm going to take another Gale Strike. Yeah, we're just going to have to hope games last a while. And this format mostly is pretty grindy, but sometimes the red-white deck can just run you over very painfully. Another Spring to Mind. Hieroglyphic Illumination, I guess, is what I'm going to take here. Yep. Looking more and more like Warfire Javelineer will be decent. Hey, a 2-drop came back to us. Thank God. Hey, another 2-drop came back to us. That's probably it, though. That's probably what we're getting in terms of 2-drops, but at least we don't have 0. So 1, 2, 3. Ooh, how about that? They all wheeled. I am happy about that. I guess this was decent for my sideboard since I can splash pretty reasonably between Evolving Wilds and Spring to Mind. Okay, so we got bailed out a little bit at the end there with 3 2-drops that are all perfectly reasonable 2-drops. And, you know, getting 2 Bounties of the Luxa is awesome. We picked up a couple of Gale Strikes, which gives us ways to get tempo on our opponent in a pretty awesome way. So that last pack went pretty well. I was a little more worried about our deck before it. Now I feel okay about it. Okay, so do we want to splash the Javelineer? We may want to. We have to figure out what we want to run in this thing in general anyway, so. Because we have too many cards in it as is. So probably cutting like a pouncing cheetah, a giant spider. Maybe move stinging shot to the sideboard since we ended up with decent ways of. Maybe move essence scatter to the sideboard too. I don't love Watchful Naga, but I do like drawing cards when I can. Yeah, I think I'm going to move Stinging Shot into my sideboard. I may not even run Spring to Mind if I decide not to play Warfire Javelineer, because it's definitely much, much better in a world where I'm actually going to need the fixing. I mean, yeah, it helps me get to these guys a little sooner, or, you know, casting big X spells sooner, but... And I guess, you know, it gives us something to do in the early-ish part of the game, at least. So let's look at this now and see if it would be worth running. These 4 cards are all instants and sorceries. This is, and this is. So yeah, we have enough to support Warfire Javelineer, I think. And maybe I cut like Watchful Naga. I mean, I definitely think I have to run 17 lands in this deck. Yeah, I think I'll cut Essence Scatter, which does mean we just cut one of our instants and sorceries, but hey. Well, maybe I just don't run him. He is good, but it's probably easier to just say, this is our deck. Our curve is so weird because of all these X spells and split cards. Oh, but see, now I probably don't even care about Spring to Mind. I don't think I do. I think I'd rather just throw like Stinging Shot back in or Pouncing Cheetah. Probably Stinging Shot. It gives us something else to do in the early game. Essence Scatter, though, is kind of the same thing. Yeah, let's go with that. So we drafted 3 split cards, and we only ended up playing one of them. But that's okay. All right, sort by color. Okay, you are also blue. So, oh, we also have that Evolving Wilds. Yeah, so I think 9, 7 plus Evolving Wilds. Yeah. All right. Well, this looks to be our deck. We'll see how it actually goes. I'll see you guys in the first match. I did draft Bantu, actually. Hold on a second. Do we want to try to splash Bantu in a deck with only 10 creatures? Do we? I don't think we do, sadly. Don't think we do. So I think I got to take the god off of my counter there. So I'm not actually going to get to play him. So I could, but I just don't think he'd be very good in our deck. So yeah, I'm going to take that off. But I'll see you guys in the first match. All right, first match of an Amonkhet Draft, and we would like to play first. I think we keep this, even though we only have 2 spells, but Bounty of the Lux is just an engine that has a very good chance at just winning us the game on its own. Let's get rid of this chat so things have some space. And yeah, I'll probably just play the Evolving Wilds first, obviously. Okay. I'll sacrifice at the end of my opponent's turn. We do have a 2-drop at least, one of our few 2-drops, so we can do that early. right. You know, we didn't end up with a ton of stuff to ramp into, but we do have, like, you know, our artifact that taps stuff down where we can pump mana into it and stuff. So that's cool. Does our opponent have a 1-drop? No. I will sacrifice this Evolving Wilds. I guess with Talkrop Skirmisher, I could think of it as more than one creature for splashing Bontu, but it still doesn't seem great. I'll take an island since we actually need double blue and we don't actually have it. So there you go. Okay, there's a Gale Strike. We will play our Skirmisher. I've ended up in blue-green like so many times in this format. And I still haven't drafted like a blue-red deck. I don't think I've drafted a green-white deck. I have drafted red-white. There's definitely color pairs I haven't drafted yet that I would like to. This is the 11th draft I'll be playing too. Okay, Naga Vitalist. That's something we could have used, but we didn't get one. Okay, well this is not going to be bad, I don't think, because we're going to be able to leave mana up for either Gale Strike or Essence Scatter. Most likely Essence Scatter. We'll just get rid of, like, our opponent will try to play a 3 or 4 drop creature, and we'll be trading up. So I don't mind that. And we're willing to offer the trade here too. If we can slow down our opponent's ramping in exchange for our Talkrop Skirmisher, who's just going to come back from our graveyard anyway, let's do it. But yeah, I mean, I figured my opponent was not going to be blocking there. I mean, I could Gale Strike the Vitalist after it produces mana, but that just seems bad. So, and I'm not going to be using Essence Scatter next turn. So hopefully our opponent actually plays a creature here, because next turn I just want to play Bounty of the Luxa and start just having it grind out value for me the rest of the game, alternating between drawing me an extra card and giving me extra mana. Okay, well this isn't the sexiest of Essence Scatters, but we're casting Essence Scatter for reasons I just mentioned. We're just gonna get rid of that crab. Also means we can attack on this board again, so that doesn't hurt. I'm assuming the opponent's gonna bring the Thunder. Yeah, boom. Gets me for 1. Opponent is also blue-green, by the way. Wonder if they have any bounties of the Luxa. Somebody posted, I think it was on my set review when I talked about Bounty of the Luxa, that it should actually be pronounced Lu Sha for some reason. Tell me in the comments if that's true, because I haven't heard anyone say it that way, but maybe if you know stuff about Egyptian... I mean, I'm a historian, but I study the Middle Ages. My knowledge of ancient Egypt does not extend to its linguistics. It's very basic knowledge. So maybe they don't have X's in Egyptian, and they're rendered as X's when it's transliterated. And that's why, I don't know. But we are drawing an extra card next turn. That much I know, and that's what I'm excited about here. We still have a Gale Strike in our hand too, which isn't bad. Opponent's 3 colors, which you can do when you're green. We could have done it. We just didn't ever pick up anything worth doing it with, sadly. Okay, Aven Initiate. Something to get Gale Striked, most likely. Gale Struck, I guess. I'm guessing he probably is fine with just trading here. And I think I am too. And if he decides to just take it and then attacks me with the Initiate, I'll use Gale Strike on it anyway, most likely. We'll see what we draw, but that seems like the likely course of action here. Wouldn't mind drawing one of our big creatures. Nope. We do get one more draw, though. What do we get? Quarry Hauler. Oh. We can actually remove the counter and make it so we draw another card next turn. I don't mind that. Instead of getting the mana. I'm going to attack. Okay, the opponent is just going to take it. But I'm not going to use Gale Strike this turn anymore. I'm just going to concede to the fact that I'm going to take 3 in the air and play my Quarry Hauler to remove the counter off of Bounty of the Luxa. I'd rather draw a card than get the mana right now. Wonder what the opponent's splashing white for. Cast Out seems like a good candidate, as does Oketra. Those are the two things that immediately come to mind that are only 1 white mana and thus are easy to cast. Playing something big. Yeah, playing Chef at Monitor. That's going to be better to Gale Strike, certainly. Take 3 in the air. All right, draw our extra card. Okay, well, there's Open into Wonder, which definitely will do something eventually here. I could do something with it now, but I think I'd rather just leave the mana up for Gale Strike. Then next turn, maybe I'll Open into Wonder all my guys with the help of the extra mana I'll get from Bounty of the Luxa. No Angler Drakes, man. Where were they? It's a mythic uncommon, and I wish I could draft more of them, especially in any deck, but I mean, it's especially good in a deck like this one. All right, now what are they playing? Something even scarier. Yep. 7 mana could be their big worm. Oh, Lay Claim. Man, that's a messed up thing to do to a person. Okay. I see how it is. Good news is I'm still going to draw a bunch of cards this turn, most likely. You're not attacking with your Monitor, huh? Well, I'll Gale Strike your other guy then, if you don't want to attack with your Monitor. Yeah, I'll still use Gale Strike. Okay. All right. He can swing back at me for 7, and I can hit him for 4, 6, 8 right now. Then draw 3 cards. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. All right, we draw 3 cards. Hey, I was going to say, what are the chances we actually draw one of our other 2 drops? But we did it. And 2 lands. So, not exactly ideal, but I'll take it. So our opponent is going to get extra mana this turn instead of drawing a card. So, at least there's that, I guess. Of course, if our opponent has, like, some nasty X spell of some kind, then I will be less than happy. Probably going to let him play at least 2 spells this turn. So that part's not cool. Okay. Guess he's probably going to kill his Vitalist. Yeah, make that huge. That makes sense. And now I'll also play his bird, who can block my Bitterblade Warrior even when it's exerted, so that's not awesome. Yeah. And something else. Okay. And that was not a good turn for us. Losing our bounty of the Luxa was not cool. Ugh. That is not what I was looking for. But I'll take it. I have so much mana and nothing to do with it that I'm actually just going to kill a top crop skirmisher and then embalm it so that I have a 3/4. So right now that Warfire Javelineer would do 3 damage. Now they get to draw an extra card. We will take 3 in the air. Don't give me another land, please. Okay, that'll actually do some work. I'm happy to draw that. We can start locking down that flyer and then eventually make it so it can't, his best creature can't block either. So I am satisfied with that. I think we also don't know what our opponent put on top of their library, but they dumped a couple lands in, so they're probably making sure they draw a spell. Heckma Sentinels, okay. For free. Did I think I had... Yeah, I screwed that up. I meant to lock down that Aven Initiate, but I had yielded the dangers of auto yield. But that's okay. That is okay. We'll lock it down next turn. We're still going to add a brick counter, but we should have done it earlier. Should have definitely done it earlier. Not what I was hoping for. 12 of our 17 lands. It's a little rough. I don't think I have any enchantment hate in my sideboard, unfortunately. We're going to go after the flyer. Yeah, he's going to bring the thunder here. Okay. I think I'm just going to chump block him with my skirmisher. Not like I don't have enough mana to bring it back. Right, our opponent is springing. Now this, I might want to bring in my Spring to Mind just because having the extra 2 cards out of my graveyard in the late game in a grindy matchup like this seems pretty good. They got their the gold uncommon, unlike me. All the fixing. We still haven't actually seen what they're splashing white for. My bet is still Cast Out or Oketra, but we'll see. Okay. Don't mind that. All right, so I'm going to go Go ahead and embalm this guy. And I'm going to play my Vizier as a 6/5. Yeah. And I'm going to end my turn. Awesome thing is this has embalm, so I can just trade it for the monitor and then get it back and play it as the flyer or whatever if I want to. The flyer is actually pretty threatening right now for us, well, for both of us. Two swings of it and he's dead. 3 swings of it kills me, so. What's the embalm cost on this? 5. He has a lot of mana. And yeah, if he attacks with his monitor, I'm just going to trade. Yep. I'm going to trade. Oh yeah, he's gonna cast Spring from it, or Mind from his graveyard. Kind of forgot about that. Yeah, yeah. Oh God. Another flyer. If I make a copy of that, that'll give these guys flying and vigilance. Aha! That solves all the problems. Now I think I just make a copy of... No, I don't want to make Defiant Greatmon, do I? I don't really want to have to give up a creature. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is just put Cartouche of Knowledge onto my Ornery Kudu. All right. Draw another land, and then I'm going to... What do I want to copy? I'm actually thinking of the Aven Wind Guide because it'll give these guys vigilance and flying. And I can shut down one of his flying blockers on my next turn with Edifice of Authority. So yeah, we're going to make a copy of you. I was making sure it actually had it and Magic Online wasn't messing with me. Can I just kill my opponent now? I can. They have 1 mana. I can lock down one of the flyers now. So we'll make this unable to attack or block. Yeah, opponent just realized it too. Grindy game. Those are the kinds of games I love, honestly. Limited. Do we want to bring an R-Spring to mind now? And also, Warfire Javelineer seems pretty good in the end. In the end. All right, so if we want to run it, That means we need to bring back in Spring to Mind as well, which seems good in this matchup in particular. And we could cut, like, Watchful Naga's not going to attack through on these boards with what we saw. Pouncing Cheetah seems okay. I think I'll probably cut Hieroglyphic Illumination, bring that in, and cut one island and add one mountain. Yeah. So this is probably what I should have done all along. In the league, I can actually change my deck permanently after this match, and maybe I'll do it. We'll see what happens here. Okay, this is a reasonable hand. We don't have any early creatures, but we can fix for a red. And we've got an Essence Scatter to counter an early one of their creatures. We got Gale Strike for some tempo. And once we do get a creature, we can give it flying with our Cartouche of Knowledge. So we're going to keep this hand. And we already have 2 instants and sorceries in our hand. So if we do draw our Javelineer, he's going to do 2 at least, it seems. Hey, Edifice of Authority. My savior. I'm just going to do this now. Such an underrated card. I mean, I picked it up like 7th pick and it's colorless. Like, what are, like... Hopefully by the time this video goes up, more people are... Well, maybe not hopefully for you and me, because we know it's good, but... it is a really good card that I see way later than I should. I mean, it's similar to Pacification Array. Pacification Array was in a much faster format, so obviously this looks worse compared to it, but in this format it feels pretty similar. Alright, I can actually make this get to where it has enough brick counters a little faster now. We're just going to leave mana up for Essence Scatter and probably Essence Scatter something, and then play Edifice of Authority in our turn. And yeah, that's basically our plan. If our opponent doesn't play a creature here, I'm still going to tap out for Edifice of Authority. If they do play creature here, I feel really good, but if they don't, I'd probably still play the Edifice. Creature. Come on. Cast a creature. Thank you. So I don't love Essence Scatter, but it's good in decks where you don't have any other 2-drops, really, and you know you're going to get to counter something early if it's in your opening hand. And in the late game, it can occasionally do some work, too. So I'm going to play the Edifice now. So I could play Quarry Hauler next turn, and I might still, even though I'm not going to be able to do anything with counters. I guess, no. It's probably better to just play Quarry Hauler instead of try to get cute. I mean, we can give the Quarry Hauler flying and just try to win in the air quickly, potentially, so. Does the opponent have another 3-drop or no? Oh, they don't. That is good news for us. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna play Quarry Hauler here. Maybe our opponent counters it with his own Essence Scatter, or Censor. But that's okay if they do. They don't. We're gonna do this, even though it has no counters on it, very sadly. If I'd waited a turn, I could have in response put a counter on my own Quarry Hauler and then gotten it up to 2, but we're trying too hard at that point. Pouncing Cheetah, okay. I probably play Cartouche of Knowledge on my Camel. It kind of depends what our opponent does, but... And then just lock down whatever his best attacker is for a while. I mean, I'll still have mana up for a trick plus using Edifice of Authority. Well, not a trick, but an instant. These are both just bounces. This we could have used to get back our Luxa, Bounty of the Luxa, but we didn't draw it last game. Ooh. Okay. That is a problem, but it's a problem we can shut down with our edifice, so I'm less worried. Okay, yeah, we're just going to put the cartouche on this quarry hauler here and start going to town in the air. The Okhetra's attendant just can't block it well, so I'm going to go cartouche of knowledge. Haven't played a land yet, right? I should probably leave green mana up, ideally. Just to have green mana available if I draw something here that I want to play that costs green mana. So we're going to do cartouche. Ooh, Greater Sandworm. There you are, my friend. And I'm going to attack for 5 in the skies. Flying Camel. All right. So what I'm going to do here, I'm probably not going to use Gale Strike, mostly because I want to build up my edifice to the point where I can also make creatures unable to block. So I'm just going to use the edifice and then leave mana up for Winds of Rebuke if something crazy happens here. He's not too far from being able to cast Lay Claim, but this time we can deal with it. Okay, Aven Initiate. All right, so I probably will use Winds of Rebuke on this Aven Initiate so I can get in for 5 again. That doesn't seem too bad to me. Or I'd probably use it on the Attendant since it costs more to cast, actually. Yeah. Do I want to use it at all? Yeah, I think we do. Two, three, four, five, six. We need one more land and then we're in Sandworm territory. Oh, we lost our Warfire Javelineer. How sad. I went to such lengths to include you. So we might just chump block here, but I'm okay with that. All right, we're gonna bash for 5. Play land, and I'll end my turn. So this time I'm actually going to keep the cheetah from attacking and try to lure him into attacking with the initiate. That's my plan here. Because if he attacks with the initiate and then just plays Okhetra's attendant again, we're fine. So we'll see what happens. All right, so we're going to make this unable to attack. Attack with your flyer. I don't think he will, but that would be best for us because then he can't effectively block our giant camel. Okay. Okay, Bounty of the Luxa or Greater Sandworm. So if I play the worm, I won't be able to use my edifice this turn. If I keep, and I can keep mana up for Gale Strike and the edifice. I do kill both of these creatures if I attack with my Quarry Hauler, but they both gain, they both have Embalm. So waiting until I can make a creature unable to block is probably just better. I think I'm actually going to play the Bounty here. And in my turn. Yeah. I'm again going to target the cheetah with being unable to attack. I'm going to be so sad if he steals this away from me again. He might steal my Edifice, too, which would also be bad. We used our only card that could have bounced Lay Claim. So, that's not so good. All right, it's just a Sheffet Monitor. I'm less concerned about that, since my Sandworm is larger. Can also Gale Strike it at some point. So let's do this again. Say, you're not attacking us, Cheetah. Bring the flyers over. Yeah, I didn't think it would work, but you know, we do get to draw our extra card now. Bitterblade. Okay. So now what I think I do is this. And attack with my camel. He has to chump block with his Aven Initiate there. He doesn't have to, but I'm assuming he's going to. Okay. All right. And then we're going to play our big Sandworm. So next turn we'll get some extra mana, and we can use it to activate our Edifice and then also play Bitterblade Warrior, basically. So not bad. If he attacks with the Monitor, I'd probably just take it. This has a massive Embalm cost, so if he wants to get another flying blocker into play, he's going to have to pay that. And if he doesn't get another flying blocker into play, he's going to take 5 in the air. So it's not a great place for our opponent. That's why I made this the one unable to block, because it only costs 5 to embalm. Okay, he is attacking with his Monitor, and I'm just going to take it. Ooh. Okay, really wish I'd had mana up for Gale Strike right there, because now our opponent... Oh, this is going to hurt. Our opponent's going to gain so much life and kill our Greater Sandworm. They can cast the Fight Half now. Jeez. They do have to lose their Sheffet Monitor to do it still. But dang, they're also going to gain 16 life in the process. So, we had our opponent on the ropes. There won't be any more. They won't be there anymore. Yeah, cast the Fight Half and kill my worm. I know that's what you want to do. Yeah. Wow. How's that for a turn? Our opponent is super low on time, I just realized. So, even if he wins this game, I think he's going to lose on a timeout, which is unfortunate for them. So, what do we draw? Oh, actually, we're just getting extra mana, so we don't draw anything. All right, so we're going to target Oketra's Attendant. Use 1 mana. Also going to cast Bitterblade Warrior. And I'm going to attack with Quarry Hauler. Get our opponent back down to 21. At least. laying claim, aren't they? Going to lay claim on something. They're taking my quarry hauler. Too bad they can't. I am going to lose the flying on him, but that's okay. We'll get him back. We can use him to make it so we draw a card 2 turns in a row. So that's good, I guess. Oh, yeah. Forgot we had that card. That'll do some work. Vizier of Many Faces. Okay. I think I'm going to play the Vizier as Okhetra's Attendant. And I'm also going to cast Quarry Hauler and remove the counter from Bounty of the Luxa. Not worth attacking, really. So our opponent still has an Aven Initiate in their graveyard that they can get back. I think I'm going to win this one on a timeout. That's the awesome way to win. It's not, though. They've been fun games. I wish there wasn't a clock. I wish there wasn't a clock. I do think I'm going to permanently leave my deck how it is now, though, with Warfire Javelineer in it. Yeah, just bringing back Aven Initiate. So we can just kill that with Commit. If we choose to, anyway. Okay, so Catcher's Attendant is what we choose. Yeah. I'm just gonna trade my Bitterblade Warrior. Okay. All right. So I think I am just going to use Commit here. Maybe. I don't know if I want to. I'll hold on to it to be used as an instant, I think. Instead, I'm going to play the Skirmisher. And I could do the crazy Embalm thing I did earlier, but it doesn't really seem worth it. I'm just going to end my turn. I think. Yes. Yes, I am. This actually would have also worked against Lay Claim. Well, sort of. Not as well. We would have had to put the card 2 from the top of our library. Which is a little less good, obviously. Heckma Sentinels, okay. We will do this. I'll trade with the Initiate token if it attacks, I think. Could, again, just use Commit on it. Okay. Nah. Okay, now that we have all this extra mana, I think I do just go Ornery Kudu, put a counter on the Skirmisher, and then Embalm it. Play a land. And in my turn again. Yeah, we're going to win this on timeout, unfortunately. We're in board stall city right now. So who knows who would win this eventually. Our opponent definitely picked up the edge in life thanks to their prepare to fight. That was gross. Even win guide, okay. Yeah. Same card. Okay. Ooh. Hello. It's not quite going to do enough, but 4, 7, 10. That would have been what would have closed out the game before our opponent gained all that freaking life, though. I think I am going to attack unblocked, though, with the Kudu and the Quarry Hauler. We can stop enough of the other creatures from attacking us that it's worth it. It's worth drawing some cards and getting in for unblockable damage. Cartouche of Strength, you say? How about that? So yeah, we're going to play Cartouche of Strength. I'm going to play it on my flyer. Use it to kill his flyer. Yeah, okay. We won on timeout, but it kind of seemed like we were going to turn the tide there anyway. The deck seems solid, you know. Edifice of Authority and Bounty of the Luxa just grind out so much value for us, and eventually we win games. So I'll see you guys in the next match. Hello everyone, before going into the second match of this Amonkhet Draft, I wanted to show you that I changed the deck up a little bit. I decided I did want Warfire Javelineer in the main board. It just seems good enough in our deck for that, which means I also put in Spring to Mind. And so I cut a Pouncing Cheetah and a Watchful Naga. No, actually, it was Pouncing Cheetah and Hieroglyphic Illumination. So that is what was cut. Now I'll go ahead and jump into the next match. First. Okay, well, I think this hand's keepable. We have an early 2-drop. We've got Gale Strike to interact, and we have Top-Crop Skirmisher. Cartouche of Knowledge. We could put on Top-Crop Skirmisher, potentially. Okay, opponent plays Evolving Wilds. We're just going to play our Skirmisher. Yeah, we got our 2 big monsters. May end up cycling one of them, depending on how things go here. Ooh, that's nice. I wonder if my opponent has Essence Scatter. Luckily, it won't work on Edifice of Authority anyway, but... So I think I'm going to play the Edifice now instead of, like, the Cartouche, obviously. I don't like playing the Cartouche into, like, super open mana when my opponent has a ton of cards in their hand, generally. Alright. Okay, do we want to use Cartouche of Knowledge here? Leave mana up for Edifice and just start attacking in the air. That doesn't seem bad. Yeah, I think that's my plan. So we're just going to Cartouche. Alright, well there's our Essence Scatter. I'd really like to draw a 4th land someday. We can get our Edifice of Authority online a little more quickly if we do. Ooh. Okay. This is going to be fun. That is not the land I was hoping for. Okay. Yeah, he's gonna do the same thing to me. Probably gonna cycle River Serpent at the end of my opponent's turn. Play a creature. Any creature. And I will Essence Scatter it, especially if it's a 5-drop creature. Scribe of the Mindful. Do I actually want to Essence Scatter that? I was saying I would, but I feel like we can hold on to Essence Scatter. Nah. No, let's just go ahead and use it. Hard to say if I'll have mana up in the future, so might as well get a little bit of value while I can. Okay, well, I'm going to cycle River Serpent right now. Still nothing, but we do have Spring to Mind at least to get the red mana for our Warfire Javelineer, who right now only does 1, but we're not that far away from doing more with it. All right. 1 right now would kill Ret Crop Skirmisher anyway, incidentally, but yeah, we'll end our turn. This makes me tap. Yeah, the land comes into play, tap. So if I could draw a land, I would still prefer to do that. Opponent's probably going to play some big scary creature now, but we have Gale Strike to get the tempo advantage in the longer run. Oh, it's not a big scary creature. It's just big. Scary would be an exaggeration. Yeah. Land? No. God. That's frustrating. That is frustrating. Do I want to cast Spring here to get my mountain? Probably not, because Gale Striking, whichever one's allowed to attack me. Just leaves me open to so much damage if I tap out right here. So, I'm not going to do it. Ah, but he can make it so my guy can't block anyway, so at this point... well, I mean, I can still make it so one of his can't attack, and that seems worth it. Probably going to have to cycle Greater Sandworm. Yeah, our mana situation is not good. Not good at all. Right. Oh, I screwed that up. I should have made it so one of them couldn't attack. And then I could have Gale Striked the other one. Okay. Which I guess is going to be this guy, because if this comes back, I don't really want it bringing a warrior token with it. Hey, there's our 4th land. I knew it was in there. Spearmaster is back. So now we can do 2 with our Javelineer. Oh, well, now we can get our mountain several different ways. Now do I want... I don't have to play Spring to Mind anymore. So if I do, if I play a land, I can cast Spring and then also leave a mana up. So that's not bad. Yeah, so let's do that. And I'll end my turn. This time we'll remember to use our Edifice. Probably on the Caravan. Okay, opponent cycling. let the camel in. Okay. Interesting. That our opponent wanted to leave that much mana up. Okay, so I think I played the Javelineer, who does 3 damage right now, to kill a skirmisher. Yeah. Or Spearmaster, whatever it's called. And we'll end our turn. I think our opponent ended up flooding out, sort of the opposite of what happened to us. We need another land, and we can play a Greater Sandworm, another forest specifically, which we can get with Evolving Wilds, so we have that going for us. Okay. I think I'll probably just play my Quarry Hauler here, and then the Sandworm next turn. We're going to have time to play these eventually. Let's go to combat. Yeah, he's going to make it so my skirmisher can't attack. Yeah. All right. See how it is. I wanted to see if that's what they were going to do, and it indeed was. So I can remove a counter from Edifice of Authority, which isn't the worst. It means he won't be able to make one of these unblockable. So I'll play Quarry Hauler and remove a counter from his Edifice. I'm going to play this Evolving Wilds. Play Quarry Hauler. And remove a counter from his Edifice of Authority here. And then I'll end my turn. I wonder if our opponent's splashing. I'm betting they are if they're playing Painted Bluffs. Yeah, let's go after the Caravan. I can block the Shepherd, which I don't hate trading for. Especially because I have Embalm on my side. Yeah, so we'll block it. I'm assuming the opponent had a trick, but, you know, doing this isn't a huge deal. It's basically just a 1-for-1. It does mean we lost our only flyer for now, but that's okay. Soon my opponent will have Greater Sandworm to worry about. And by soon, I mean now. So let's go to combat. It's going to make my Quarry Hauler unable to attack. Yep. Need to play another land. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Sandworm time. Okay. And then in my turn, so now we go after the flyer, because obviously my Sandworm can just destroy Supply Caravan in combat. Although I guess I'll probably make him unable to block to begin with, but I could always double block Supply Caravan. Ah, compulsory rest. That's annoying. Edifice of Authority. Yeah, we'll go after the Shepherd. And we will take 3. Gonna have to play Bounty of the Luxa here and just try to outcard my opponent because they are doing really well right now. Okay, Winds of Rebuke can actually bounce Edifice of Authority, and that is definitely worth thinking about doing. Can also bounce Compulsory Rest, which could let me really blow out my opponent in combat at least. So those are all good things. So I'm gonna play Bounty of the Luxa. And I have, I also have Mind in my graveyard. It's worth keeping in mind. That's in mind. But I also have a Talkrop Skirmisher, so I can do some things out of my graveyard. I think making Winged Shepherd unable to block or attack is probably worth it here. Getting in for 2. All right, so we get in for 2. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, bounce it. I was hoping he would bounce it. I could bounce it. Play it and use it to kill something on a future turn. But is that worth it? Yeah, I think it might be. It's worth it. Nothing interesting in our graveyard. Or our opponents. Nothing new, anyway. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice this now. Right, we get to draw an extra card. Okay, Commit to Memory will be really nice on Edifice of Authority. I'm going to play this land, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, we actually can't kill the Caravan. We can kill the Shepherd, though. Yeah, so Warfire Javelineer. So yeah, I think I just use commit right now and get rid of Edifice of Authority. I probably should have done it on their upkeep actually, but making him have to cast this again and reuse it again, and he has to wait a couple turns to do it is, I think, pretty good. Even Wind Guide, okay. I should have made the Supply Caravan unable to attack there, I guess. Yeah, we'll just take it. All right. So we do have a bunch of mana in because of our bounty, and I think the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and cast Mind out of our graveyard. Oh, that's good. Okay. So I can play this as a Warfire Javelineer and kill the blocker. That seems like a pretty good plan. So let's play the Vizier as a Warfire Javelineer. And attack for 6. And in my turn, I want to leave mana up. I don't want to use my Skirmisher, so he's gonna have his Edifice now. This is why we should have waited an additional turn, most likely. Okay, right, he can embalm that too. Yeah, Edifice of Authority. So extra card. All right, Gale Strike is pretty good. I think we probably just open into Wonder here. We drop our opponent to 1 if we do that. I mean, he's going to make something unable to attack, of course, so we're not really going to drop him to 1. So let's go to combat. So yeah, it wasn't worth. It's not worth using Open into Wonder just yet. So I shall not. I shan't do anything. I think I play Ornery Kudu though. And we're gonna put a counter here. Play a land. Get Tarkrop Skirmisher #1 out of my graveyard. And Tarkrop Skirmisher #2 out of our graveyard. We're gonna try to kill our opponent with Open into Wonder. And the wider we go, the easier that'll be. If he attacks, it might just be worth it to block with this so that I can get Aven Wind Guide myself. Illusory Wrappings, okay. We'll go after the Wind Guide here. All right. So our opponent can stop. Of course, he just shut down Quarry Hauler too. But it's probably still worth it, even if we can't kill our opponent here, to just get in for as much as we can and draw as many cards as we can. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to cast Open into Wonder. On all of these guys. Right. I'm also going to play this Bitterblade Warrior. Well, no, I won't. I'll use this mana to say that this can't attack or block. So we're going to draw 4 cards here and get in for 7, dropping our opponent to 2. This time around, we might be the ones who run out of time. We're playing much slower than our opponent, who pull from tomorrow. That's not really what I want with this few cards left in my deck, but I guess it doesn't hurt. All right, so I'm going to play Bitterblade Warrior. We want to try to go as wide as we can with creatures with 2 or more power, though. We don't want to tap that blue, I don't think. Yeah, so... And we'll play Watchful Naga. Play land and end my turn. Grindy, grindy, grindy. Okay. So... yeah, I think we just win now. Yeah, probably so. Let's play this cartouche, see what happens. If I can get both blockers out of the way, I definitely win. Kill the Wind Guide. And I think our opponent's just making us use up time, which isn't the worst plan. Yeah, they were just making us use up time there. All right. Well, we're going to have to win this second game. Have to play a little more quickly. Didn't see a ton of flyers. We did see the Aven Wind Guide, though. Maybe that's enough of a reason to bring in Stinging Shot. And cut... maybe a Gale Strike. Probably the Naga, actually. Yeah, that double Edifice of Authority game was a slow one. It would be kind of ironic if I lose to a timeout in this match after winning the first one in a timeout. So I think we probably have to mulligan this hand. We have no green mana and no early anything, so yeah, we're gonna mulligan. Okay, this one is fine. I'm gonna put that on the bottom. I'm going to cycle this River Serpent right away. And in my turn. Okay, well, we're going to play the Kudu. It's just going to be a 2/3, of course, but that's not the worst. I think I'm just going to cast Commit here. I don't know. I'll hold on to... Oh, no, he doesn't tap, so Gale Strike will be useless. So, yeah, I'm just going to go Commit. I'm going to attack. Okay, Compulsory Rest it is. And we're just going to end our turn. We can't really do anything. That guy's back. We're just going to sacrifice this. You play our Vizier, but it doesn't seem very good to me right now. I'd rather just take 3 to the face. I'd rather copy a better creature that our opponent plays. Yeah, we'll take 3. That is also not an exciting creature, but at least I can Gale Strike that one. So at least there's that. I'll use Gale Strike. Cartouche of Knowledge. Well, Vizier turning into one of these guys plus putting a cartouche on it isn't bad. I would probably turn it into Those Who Serve, because a 3/5 can obviously block better than the other options. Okay, so I think that's our plan. We need to put up some defenses here, so I'm going to play Vizier. Copy my opponent's Those Who Serve, and put Cartouche of Knowledge on it. And then in my turn, we just need to draw another creature who can help us here. I guess maybe a 4/3 would have been fine, 4/3 with Vigilance, but still would have died to the Unwavering Initiate, and now that's not the case. My opponent could use Impeccable Timing, but I'm not too concerned about that at this point. Okay, drawing cards. Illuminating. No, their own Cartouche of Knowledge. At least I have Winds of Rebuke for their guy, but man, that's annoying. Oh. Okay, so I'm just going to cast the Winds of Rebuke now. Do we get any value in our graveyard? No, but we'll play Bounty of the Luxa. I'm going to attack my opponent in the air. We put their Edifice in the graveyard, and I'm pretty happy about that. Because that was going to be nasty. Okay, so we're going to attack. Our opponent has so many more cards in their hand that we're kind of getting to the point where casting Memory is worth it. Because we're like out of gas, and our opponent is just, their hand is filled with it. So that is worth thinking about. It does mean we put their Edifice back in their library, but we'll see what we draw here off our extra Bounty of the Luxa draw. And then I may just, if it's a land, if I hit 2 lands here, I probably just could play Memory. Oh, my bounty's gone. That's not cool. Yep, we're gonna play Memory. Yes, we are. Okay, that worked out pretty well for me, I think. I'm gonna attack, and I'm actually gonna play Ordinary Kudu first because I'm not gonna be able to use the Edifice this turn anyway. We have Pull from Tomorrow too, which will be able to pull us, you know, 1,000,000 cards out of our library. Right, well, now we're gonna have to be blocking with that guy, but that does mean he can come back as whatever the best creature on the table is again. Right, I'm gonna block the Those Who Serve. There's a really good chance their opponent has Impeccable Timing, but I say make him use it. Nope. Supplied Caravan, okay. Okay, so Cartouche of Strength does things. But I think Edifice. Yeah, I guess I'm going to play the Cartouche on my Ornery Kudu. Kill the Unwavering Initiate. Attack for 1 in the air. We're going to be able to cast a huge Pull from Tomorrow at some point in the near future. And then I'm just going to end my turn. We have closed the time gap. At least there's that. Okay, well. We shall use our Edifice. Man. Okay. Yeah, we're going to take 3, go to 7. Then we're going to gain the life, 2 of it back by sacrificing compulsory our Ornery Kudu. Okay. Let's also sacrifice our Evolving Wilds. We already have our 1 red mana. We have almost all of our lands. Our decks are much more spells, like all spells at this point, because of oh, Stinging Shot does some work right here, actually. So I'm just going to pass my turn. We can make the Supply Caravan also into a 1/3. And so our guys just sort of stare at each other. Okay, so I'm going to say that you can't attack. All right, I'm going to cast Stinging Shot on Supply Caravan. And then block those who serve. If our opponent has impeccable timing here, we're not too broken up about it because our Vizier can come back. So we're going to cast Pull for Tomorrow for 7 for 7. Lay Claim. Okay. Well, that's not cool. Let's see if we can find something to do about that in this massive Pull for Tomorrow. Winds of Rebuke would work. Nope. Oh, yeah, there it is. Winds of Rebuke. The one that says Winds of Rebuke, that's it. So we're going to go Winds of Rebuke on this. We are getting close to milling ourselves here, it's worth noting. So, yeah. Replay the Edifice. And I'm going to play River Serpent because it's huge. And I'll end my turn. Where's our Warfire Javelineer when we need him? Man, all of these illusory wrappings are frustrating. Okay, target creature. Let's say you can't attack, since you can hit me pretty hard. Okay, going to block here and here. Okay, he went with impeccable timing. That means I can copy a creature at least. Like my River Serpent. Oh, except it's dead. So you're right, because it was an 0-2. Oh, God. We're going to end up losing this second game, I think. And we don't have a whole lot of time to win the third. There's the Javelineer. I can basically play him twice because I have what I have in my graveyard. So I'm going to play Javelineer. I want to kill this flyer. And then I want to embalm Vizier of Many Faces. My deck is like too dirtily, man. Kill a Ret Crop Spear dude. And play Top Crop Skirmisher. Could have left that mana for Essence Scatter, I guess. That wouldn't have been the worst. Especially if our opponent's about to do something nasty. Just embalming Aven Wind Guide, okay. Wouldn't have been able to counter that anyway. I'm gonna make it so that can't attack me. We don't even really want to play Bounty of the Luxa. The drawing is not optional, so yeah. Okay, so they're exerting it. I'm gonna block with my Skirmisher. We have Open into Wonder, so no we don't. Oh yes, we do. Open into Wonder somewhere in our library. So we should probably try to go wide enough that Open into Wonder can just kill our opponent. That'll help. So I think we play Bitterblade Warrior, Quarry Hauler, make our Edifice of Authority ready to go here. And then we also have our Skirmisher in our graveyard. Okay, so draw that. We're just going to end our turn. We have Essence Scatter up, so that's not terrible. We just need to draw open into Wonder. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and it's in our library still. It's not in our graveyard. We have 5 cards left in our library. So there's that. I think I'm okay with the Skirmisher. I'd rather keep a flyer from attacking me. So yeah, we'll take 1. Okay, so I'm going to cast the first half of this. Okay, Open into Wonders in there, like I thought. And then I think... How much can our opponent hit us for in the air? I think I'm going to cast Mind at the end of my opponent's turn. And if I also play Bounty of Luxa... No, yeah, if I cast Mind and then draw my card for my turn, I'm going to draw Open into Wonder. For sure. So, that's the plan. I guess I'm going to cast Mind now, though. Because I wouldn't mind drawing another creature. Okay, and we did. So, I will play the Skirmisher... and in my turn. So we should win in our next turn, barring catastrophe here, and manage to beat the clock, which is our biggest enemy. Okay, Hazoret is a scary, scary thing. I can't stop the flyers, but... Do I want to cast Essence Scatter here? Yeah, we're going to cast Essence Scatter. We just have to keep 4, 6, 8, 10. So we can block with one creature here. Kind of have to block with more, though, don't we? Oh, God. Just attack with your flyers. I love it. I love that plan. Oh, except that's lethal. I don't love it. Oh, God. Why did I cast Essence Scatter? I punted so hard. And we're not going to be able to win another game because of it. God. Open into wonder. Oh. Yeah, we're just going to have to concede this match. That was a bad punt. I was thinking this was a 1/1 token for some reason and not a 3-power token. So we should have let Hazoret resolve. Could we have won if we let Hazoret resolve? Let's analyze this. Get out of the way, this. If Hazoret had resolved, they would have had a 5/5. I would have stopped a flyer from attacking. Probably this one. Taken 3, definitely. But then I would have had to block... Well, I wouldn't have had to block everything. I could take the 4 from that. Used... I would have won. Because Hazoret's the only creature I would have had to block that could have killed my creature. Although he could have then discarded a card to Hazoret's ability. Ugh, that was bad. Well, I deserved to lose that one. This deck's fun, but it takes, I think, the time constraints, 19 and 11 now, you know, made me play much worse than I should have. So, I'll see you guys in the next match, because there's no point in playing a game 3 when we have 10 minutes. So, okay, on to our next match. We would like to play first, and we do not want to keep this hand. No blue is silly. Okay, now we have no green, but I have a card with cycling. 2 of them, actually, if I have to use them. I mean, I have no red, actually, is what I meant to say. And we are okay with drawing a land. Definitely need some creatures early, but cycling might help us find that. I'm going to cycle my River Serpent. All right. Man, that last match. Had to play a creature with haste. I think we were dead the more I thought about it. I think we were dead anyway. Okay, Edifice of Authority is going to be good against that, but we're going to have to take 4 to the face first. I think we were dead anyway because Hazoret's ability would have allowed him to do the last 2 damage. Okay. I'm going to play my Edifice and prepare to be smashed in the face for 4. I haven't had to deal with a turn 2 one of these yet. It's not fun. It's not fun at all. Commit actually isn't too bad against him because he has to discard another card for it. What? 2 of these? Whose idea was that? Man, that is gonna hurt. I have to say it. We're gonna stop one of them from attacking us, but we're gonna go to 12. In the process. Next turn we can both tap 1 down and commit 1, which isn't too terrible. What is happening right now? Our opponent just played 3 Blood Rage Brawlers. My God. I have to cycle this worm because I'm not going to get a chance to play it. Ugh. 3 Blood Rage Brawlers to start. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to actually play my Quarry Hauler now because it can trade with one of them and get my Edifice a little closer to being better. We will add a counter. 3 Blood Rage Brawlers to start the game. Like, not only did our opponent draft 3, they got all 3 in their opening hand. Looks like they're a red-green deck, possibly, with Ronus's Monument out there. Okay, so we're going to make this one unable to attack. Trade with another one. We're going to go to 8. Block. Okay, good. No tricks. Feel good about there being no tricks. All right, so we're going to use commit on one of them and make the other one unable to attack. Can we stabilize? I don't know. Means you're gonna have to discard another card for it, so that part feels good. Cycle. Wouldn't mind drawing a creature. We had to freaking pitch 2 of our creatures just so we could find something we could play early. So I'm not thrilled about that. Oh, there's an Essence Scatter. I don't want to use memory just yet. I want my opponent to be even further ahead of me by the time I have to do that. Because right now I can just shut this guy down. I have an Essence Scatter to counter a creature he might play. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and Essence Scatter that. Right, and then we're going to play an Ornery Kudu. And we'll end our turn. So he can use Cartouche of Strength to kill them, but he'll die too. But yeah, it is possible. If I deem that necessary. I would rather he play something I can kill with the Cartouche and then trade my Kudu for the Blood Rage Brawler. That's not what's happening, though. Made him discard an Electrify. Damn it, man. Okay, so I'm going to have to 2-for-1 myself, I think. We're getting close to memory time. We are getting close to it. Okay. Ugh. Well, it'll help. It will help, but our opponent has more than one creature now, which is going to be more of a problem. Hyper-aggressive decks against us do stand a chance to be really good. The Dirtilier decks we played, I mean, our deck is, I think, a better sort of control deck than most. Thresher Lizard, great, great. So what do we draw with our extra card here? Well, we drew a land to start with. We drew a land after that, too. So we're not quite dead, but we're about as close as you can get. I'm going to play this mountain. And I'm going to cast memory. Because we don't really have a choice. We have to find something here. And we did, actually. Find a few things. So we'll play Top Crop Skirmisher. Gives us a blocker. River Serpent plus Cartouche of Strength is going to be nice. So we'll make the Blood Rage Brawler unable to attack and theoretically block the Thresher Lizard with our Top Crop Skirmisher. Theoretically. I wanted to play my Mountain so that if I drew Warfire Javelineer with the redraw, I could play it. Although, now that I think about it, that's kind of stupid because now I have no instants or sorceries in my graveyard. So, you know, it's whatever. We are going to get a bunch of extra mana next turn, so playing River Serpent and Cartouche of Strength isn't going to be hard. Our River Serpent won't be able to attack right away, but that's okay. He'll kill something, and he'll get to attacking eventually. We're ahead in time this time, so... Will all 3 matches be determined by time? No, I don't think so. Yeah, he's going to Deemworthy my dude, which is going to hurt. He'll hit me for 4 this turn. At least 4. We'll do that. I think he was deciding whether or not he wanted to cast it because he would have gotten prowess off of it. Decided he wanted the card more, I guess. If he has... There's not a 1 red mana combat trick in this format. No, there's a 2 mana one, though. Okay. Give me that extra mana. Alright, so 3, 4, 5, 6. River Serpent. Cast. Cartouche of Strength. Kill you. Play a land, and I think we want to bring this Skirmisher back. Doesn't mean we're not going to be able to use our Edifice this turn, but that's okay. We have Pull from tomorrow to help us out in the very near future, too, which will probably be enough to push us over, but we are at 3 life, so maybe not. And we don't have any way to gain life, I don't believe, so... I would love to gain some life right now. Oh, we're dead. Steal our creature. Attack with everything. And we're dead, yeah. Even though this can't attack. Oh, wait. Since it can't attack, we're alive. Nice. I forgot about that. We're going to be going down to 1 life here. Why did it take off the Cartouche of Strength? Shouldn't have done that. That's weird. Really weird. There's no reason that should have happened. Okay, well, there you go. Magic Online for you. Okay. I really, really need another creature. So I think I'm just going to pull for tomorrow now and leave like 4 mana. 3 mana. Yeah, that's probably good. Pull from tomorrow. Okay. Okay. I will discard a forest. And we did draw something we can play, so we will. Doesn't mean we're tapping out again, but we have 2 blockers this time. I'm going to play Ornery Kudu. Put this here. Here, I said. I'm going to have to discard another card. It'll be a forest this time. Can we stabilize at 1? Opponent could easily have spells that do damage to my dome, so like Trial of Zeal or something just to finish me off. Emberhorn Minotaur, okay. That is a large creature. Not quite as large as our Greater Sandworm is going to be, but still quite large. Okay, Essence Scatter is not a bad thing to see here. I think we just play this huge worm. I tapped too much mana for it. And I'm also going to play Talkrop Skirmisher. And I'm going to use the rest of the mana to make this guy unable to attack or block till our next turn. And I'm going to attack with Ornery Kudu. I was thinking I could attack with my River Serpent, but we're not quite there yet. All right. Drop our opponent to 17. And I will end my turn. This deck is awesome, by the way. Like, even if we do go 2-1, you know. What? Our opponent's playing Sunscorched Desert? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This has been silly. Like, we were so stabilized there. Like, we could counter a creature. We were going to just win the game, basically, with Open into Wonder and then, like, another turn or two. Oh, who runs Sunscorched Desert? That was painful. Okay. Do we want something like Haze of Pollen? No. No, we don't. I can't believe that just happened. Lost Sunscorched Desert. Don't see that every day. At least I don't even think that card's playable, but our opponent seems to be mono red. If you're monocolored, it gets to be a little closer to playable. Okay, I think this is a keeper. But this deck is like my kind of limited deck, you know. It probably had the ability to go 3-0. I mean, even if we don't do it, I mean, it's clearly a strong deck. It's a little slow, but it can stabilize very quickly thanks to things like Bounty of the Luxa. So, yeah, so we're going to sack Evolving Wilds. We're going to get our Mountain. We're going to play our Forest. We're going to end our turn. So Watchful Naga probably isn't going to be able to attack against a deck that has a curve like this one does, but who knows. Okay, so we'll play Watchful Naga. I'll be willing to attack and exert it in a lot of situations here, namely if my opponent decides if my opponent only plays a creature who can trade with my Naga, basically. You know, we survived turn 2, 3, and 4 Blood Rage Brawlers that game. I mean, in the long run, I guess we didn't. But that's a pretty good showing, I think, of how strong this deck is. Okay, Sunscorched Desert to the face. Again. So if my opponent attacks, I just take it. Even if it's exerted, I don't really care. Trial of Zeal, okay. Blows up my Naga. I don't think he should exert here. I think he should just attack me. Yeah, that is what I think I would have done. So we're not under a huge amount of pressure. I think we have time to play our Bounty of the Luxa right here instead of leaving up mana for commit. Though if I commit, I can then Warfire Javelineer and kill this guy. Well, maybe now we just play Quarry Hauler. Nah, let's play Bounty first. We can then use the Quarry Hauler to let it draw us 2 cards in a row instead of giving us mana one turn. Emberhorn, freaking Minotaur. Okay. Now I may just have to leave mana up so I can use commit on Emberhorn Minotaur. Which isn't the worst. Again, because it'll let me Warfire Javelineer the Neff Crop Entangler. Okay, I'm just going to end my turn. This match I don't think is going to be lost on a timeout. So there's that. So I'm going to go ahead and use commit here. We're going to take 2. We'll actually have enough mana to play both our Quarry Hauler and our Javelineer this turn. Because Bounty of the Lux is going to give us extra mana. I don't want to do that right now. Thanks, Magic Online. So yeah, 3. Then we're going to go 4 Warfire Javelineer. Kapow. And then we're going to play Quarry Hauler. We're not going to put counters on anything, so. This time we didn't take nearly as much of a beating in the early game, so that's good news for us. So we may actually be able to survive long enough to win this time. I mean, we were at like 8 or 6 or something by the time we stopped getting punched in the face every turn. Magma Spray into something else. Ah, his own Warfire Javelineer. Okay. Which also makes his Thresher Lizard a 4/4. So that's not fun. Okay. We're going to take that 4. What can we draw? Okay. We get to draw another card too. I think I'm just going to put Cartouche of Knowledge on him. Okay, Essence Scatter. All right. Probably bounce the Thresher Lizard this turn with my Winds of Rebuke, and maybe Essence Scatter, a scary creature spell. Like that guy, which we knew he had, I guess. So we're going to Essence Scatter that. And we're going to Winds of Rebuke this. Man, we milled our Open into Wonder, which is a little less than ideal. Okay. So, Memory's tempting here, but also kind of scary. You know what I mean? I think I cast it, though, because we're just out of gas here. We don't want to cast it like that, though. We want to leave up 1 forest and 1 island. Although I guess we're not going to stay out of gas. I guess I'll hold off a turn on casting it. Oh, I do have all this extra mana, though. Yeah, let's just do it. With all the extra mana, it gets to be a lot better. Yeah. We'll cast Memory. Okay. So let's attack with our Warfire Javelineer in the air. And then I'm going to cast Orin Rikudu, put the counter on himself. And Takrop let's play Bitterblade Warrior, actually. Oh, I can't. So, Takrop Skirmisher it is. And we'll end our turn. Hope my opponent just drew 7 lands off of theirs. Pretty unlikely, but you know, one can hope, right? It's also going to make, like, if he has Thresher Lizard again, a lot harder for it to be big. I think next turn we probably just play our big Sandworm. All right, he's going to cycle. Which is interesting. You know, I just gave him as many cards as I did, and he wants to cycle. That it might be a good sign for us. Emberhorn is back. We do have Gale Strike for him. And Winds of Rebuke again. Okay, so I'm going to attack in the air. Drop our opponent to 14. And then I think I play Greater Sandworm and leave mana up for Winds of Rebuke. Yeah. Big man. Man, these Sun-Scorched Deserts. Opponent is mono red, which is pretty cool. And that is, when you're mono-colored, playing the deserts is nice. They just give you a little bit of extra value, and they're not going to make your mana very much worse because you're one color. I mean, we lost to Sun-Scorched Desert in game 1, if you don't remember. So Thresher Lizard's back. So is Hyena Pack. Okay. Nope, not bringing the pain. Do I want to Winds of Rebuke something anyway? Yeah, I don't hate that plan. Oh, we lost our Edifice, though. I hate that. So I'm going to cast Spring. Get an island. Play a forest. 3, 5, 8. So you can't actually kill my Greater Sandworm in combat right now because this won't be able to block it. So I'm going to attack with my Sandworm and my Javelineer. Opponent just goes to 4. Wow. I'm okay with that. Then I think we just cast Spring now. Or Mind, rather, I suppose. Ooh. Hello. Okay, so I can use Cartouche of Strength next turn to just make that big enough to kill my opponent. So it seems pretty good and stuff. Yeah, I'll play Bitterblade Warrior. And in my turn. So can our opponent kill us here? Seems unlikely. I'm willing to block all 3 of his creatures, basically. Alright, we got there. This deck. So grindy and fun. Yes, I don't think we want to change anything. I mean, decision paralysis isn't terrible, I guess, but it's not great either. Maybe I want Pouncing Cheetah more than I want Watchful Naga, though. I can, like, flash it in to kill things. Watchful Naga doesn't do much. So will we finish and get some prizes? I don't know. Splashing that Javelineer has been a very good decision, though. I can tell you that. Okay, this is a slow hand, but since we have a Cycler, I'm going to keep it. And we can interact early a little bit with Gale Strike. Maybe even get to kill something with the Javelineer. So, yeah, we have a 3-drop creature now, at least. Why I played my Mountain first, I'm not sure. I shouldn't have. Because now... Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't have anything that costs double blue or double green. So we're going to be able to kill that with one thing in our graveyard. One instant or sorcery is what I mean by thing. So the Entangler is going to get us... Sunscorched Desert drops us to 17. And Thresher Lizard, okay. We're going to play our Kudu here. We could have just decided to play Gale Strike on one of them first and then just play the Javelineer to kill the Entangler. Which might be what I do next turn. It depends on how much pressure we have. Like, if my opponent just removes Ornery Kudu right here, I think that's probably what we have to do is Gale Strike into Warfire Javelineer. Yeah, he did. So we're going to take 5 here and go to 12. So I think we have to just leave mana up for Gale Strike. And then play the Javelineer to kill the Entangler. So we'll bounce that and kill that. Well, now we also have the option to use Commit if we want to, but I kind of doubt that's what we're going to want to do. So, in my turn. I mean, I guess we could use it instead of Gale Strike. We do have the mana for it, and it's a little bit better, and it'll still make 1 instant or sorcery in my graveyard. So, is he not going to attack with his Lizard because he's worried I have Gale Strike? I was going to say, then I'll have to use Commit. Yeah, I'll use Commit here. Take 2, go to 10. Okay, played a Warfire Javelineer to do nothing. I feel good about that. I'm going to play mine and kill his guy. Boom. And I'll end my turn. So this time, when we finally played a permanent... Well, I guess we played Ornery Kudu, but we're at 10. We were at 13 last time. Okay, that's going to be a good thing to Gale Strike, at least. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana is what we have. If I draw land, I can at least... No, that works. That does work. It's not exciting, but it'll work to fend off my opponent a little longer. There's my water. Wasn't sure where I put it. Okay. Nothing getting played with haste this turn. That's appealing. You know, let's declare a block. Nah, he's not going to use a trick. Who am I kidding? Actually, yeah. Let's declare blocks first. I'm going to put my Javelineer on his Javelineer, and I'm going to put my Embalm guy there. Okay, well, then I'm going to cast Gale Strike on Minotaur. Assuming he has a way to kill my Javelineer. Thresher Lizard. Okay. Alright, I guess he doesn't have a way to kill my Javelineer. I'm cool with that. So I think we play the Bounty and Bitterblade Warrior here. Yeah, that seems reasonable. So Bitterblade. So we know he has a Javelineer. I'm not a Javelineer. A Minotaur he can give haste to, so let's keep that in mind. And then we're going to play Bounty of the Luxa. And that Thresher Lizard will also be a 4/4. So this is going to be a pretty painful turn. He does have to go to 0 cards, so he's going to be out of gas, and we've still got it coming. So if we can just survive. We definitely don't want to go to 1 since we know our opponent has at least one more Sunscorched Desert in their deck. Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, I'm going to declare this block and this block. See what my opponent does. He does have that card. He goes +2/+0 to his whole team, but yeah, so there it is. Pain. Okay. Come on, extra card. Be something good. No, I don't hate Pouncing Cheetah. But I think it's probably better to just play a Worm. We'll just end our turn because we're about to experience some pain. So I'll play your 4/3, probably give him haste. So yeah, we're gonna be at very low life. That's for sure. Next turn, we'll have the extra mana to use Talkrop Skirmisher. All right, the opponent looks like they're just going to go for it here. Just going to swing as hard as they can at my dome. Yeah. Okay, so Sandworm's going to eat this guy. I'm just going to chump block this and go to 8. Okay. Oh, that is a good draw. That is a really good draw. Our chances of winning this game just went way up. Okay, so we're going to play Edifice of Authority here. Oh, I have a bunch of extra mana. What am I doing tapping mana? Yeah, so we'll play Edifice of Authority. Our opponent's out of gas. They likely don't have a way to get more gas, and we have lots of gas coming our way. So I will Embalm Talkrop Skirmisher, and I'll end my turn. I can flash in Pouncing Cheetah to block and kill the Javelineer. We can just stop the Thresher Lizard from being able to attack us this turn. This is one of my favorite decks I've drafted in this format, even though it doesn't really fit into any archetype. It's just like a Bounty of the Luxa deck, basically. Well, now it's really a Bounty of the Luxa deck. Oh, I should have flashed in my cheetah, at least, most likely. Okay, so I think we play Cartouche of Knowledge on Greater Sandworm. He's got Trample now, so Cartouche of Strength, I mean. And then we kill Thresher Lizard with it. I don't want to attack into this board with it right now, though, because it'll just die. So I'm just going to end my turn. And plan on actually flashing our Pouncing Cheetah into play at the end of our opponent's turn. Alright, so we'll make this unable to attack, I guess. So none of his creatures can block my Sandworm right now. We're going to flash in our Cheetah. Okay, we've got the extra mana this turn, so I think we probably want to use it to first cast Spring. And yeah, we'll cast Mind right now. Okay. All right, so we're going to attack with our Greater Sandworm here. I think we can afford to do it. Opponent does have one card in his hand, which is a little scary. If he draws his card that can steal our guy, we're going to be really sad. Except we can at least shut him down with Edifice of Authority, so there's that. All right, bash for 8. In my turn. So our opponent can also play a creature and give it haste, which would be bad. Okay, yeah, we got there. We really should have gone 3-0, I think. I kind of punted in that second match, but that deck was really cool. For those of you who enjoy long, grindy matches of Limited, I'm sure you enjoyed it as I did. For those of you who don't, you probably stopped watching a while ago. So thanks for watching all of it. If you did, this will have been a particularly long draft. Don't forget to subscribe to catch more of my drafts. I also post a draft video every week over on a channel called the Ether Hub if you can't get enough of Amonkhet Drafts. My content is sponsored in part by 5colorcombo.com. They have an app that can actually help you practice drafting Amonkhet. You can also build constructed decks on it, but what I use it for most is for practicing drafting Amonkhet. You know, you can do it wherever you are, so that's pretty cool. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you for next week's draft.